Welcome back to another episode of my Seattle Mariners franchise here on MLB The Show 25. Where in this episode we're going to do, kind of like we always do around this point in time of the year, going to do the MLB draft, going to do the All-Star game, going to maneuver, just kind of through a little bit here of July. So at the end of this past episode, we were doing okay. And then we lost this three-game set here, got swept against the Twins. We didn't make a lot of movement here in the last episode, just kind of awkward scheduling because I like to have the MLB draft and the All-Star game with maybe a little bit of game, footage around it kind of as the focus. So a little awkward timing. But we are one day away from the draft. Kind of see how that ends up playing out. Some big storylines that we are looking at here. In this episode, I think Luis Castillo, we need him to kind of get going. He has dealt with, injury. He was out for a month and a half, roughly. Has had some good starts, but when he has been bad, he has been dreadful, and he is coming off of a bad start. Definitely looking at continuing Adrian Ramirez. He is on a bit of a slide here over his last 10, to say the least. Only 4 hits over that span after coming up. Incredibly hot. Has hit 7 home runs in 33 games. We've seen the average dip. Still producing a 753 OPS. For what it's worth, pretty close to what Luke Raley has done. Has a 32-year-old. Raley, though, he has been even worse over the last 10. So we'll kind of just have to see how things end up playing out. Raleigh is kind of sort of getting going. He's been good over the last 10, but just 1 home run, which we had in the last episode, a 3-run home run in the top of the ninth in a pinch hit opportunity. Julio has been great over the course of this season. The average is a little low over the last 10, but he had a 3-game stretch, or actually 4 straight games with a home run. 872 OPS over that time period. He is currently the 4th most valuable player in the American League. Let's do the draft. We'll get through this athletic series. We'll kind of take a look around the league as far as stat leaders and stuff, and we will go from there. We do lose his first game here to the Athletics 11-2. Got absolutely smoked. Got home runs from Adrian Ramirez and Rengifo. So good to see Ramirez at least do something there. He goes 1 for 3 with a walk as well. Luis Castillo. Apparently we had an error from Ramirez that really spun things out of control there for Castillo, but not a good start there again, which is, of course, not great. We do get an opportunity here in the bottom of the ninth. We're down 1 with nobody out. Let's hop in here, kind of the middle part of this order. See, we're 10th in runs, so the offense has scuffled a little bit. Still really high on the home runs and on base percentage. The ERA is just not really been what we wanted it to be. A lot of that has been the bullpen, and now it seems to be Luis Castillo. Kind of the awkward situation that I think we're in is I honestly don't know that it wouldn't be better for this team to have Emerson Hancock, but taking Luis Castillo's place. But when if we were not contending, like if we were 3rd or 4th in the division, if we were below 500, I certainly would consider maybe trading him. We're in such a good spot. He was so good in the bullpen for us last year. We pay him so much money. Like, I don't know what realistically we would get, and then you're trying to trade him to another contender. What if you then have to see him in the playoffs? Ernalao is now facing a 1-2 count. 712 OPS. Strikes out on the ugly cutter there. Pretty bad swing. Sound to be Alec Burleson, who's been great this year, man. Been a revelation. 16 homers, 50 RBIs, has gone back and forth between DHing and playing first base. When Jesse Winker comes back, we have got some decisions to make. Burleson gets a base hit there. But you would essentially be looking at 4 guys for 3 spots. I mean, some combination of Burleson and Winker probably have to be playing every day. What do you do with Raley? Do you send Ramirez back down? Like, at this point, now that I have Ramirez up, like, I don't really feel like sending him back down. I don't think that's a benefit to the team at all. Let's put Bliss in this situation. Now Rengifo at the plate. Having a solid year. Have not lived up to being the signing that I was hoping he would be. And we're going to send him. We're going to take the chance. And that's actually going to be a walk-off home run, Luis Rengifo. No idea that that ball was hit nearly that well. But Rengifo gets the walk-off home run in a big-time moment. Let's go. He had been scuffling about here recently. Rengifo, I did not think he hit that ball that hard. I don't know if it's something about his swing, just the way the ball kind of comes off his bat, but that looked more like just a double in the gap kind of situation. I did think it was going to get down. I did not think it was going to go out. But Rengifo hits a 2-run shot there. Ends up giving us the win. Ferguson could not do a whole lot. Offense, very hit or miss in this game. Got 2 hits from Arozarena, 1 from Julio, 2 from Burleson, 2 from Rengifo, and that was pretty much it. Got a great start out of Brian Wu. Murphy and Brash were great out of the bullpen. Murphy's been a really big pickup for us so far. I think he's given up 1 run since we've gotten him. But nice. We really needed a victory there, so that was good. Hopefully now we'll do the draft and go from there. Obviously, we're picking really late 30, but then we also get picked 33 right behind it. Got some guys that we certainly like. I haven't done like a lot of deep diving into this class, so we'll just kind of trust the board. Obviously, just a lot of pitchers here at the top. Let's do people that we have scouted. Obviously, a lot of these guys, I'm sure, will not be falling to us, but we really struggle to find a lot of hitting prospects that we really like. This okay, Mel Winters. 105, a 10th on our board. I like where everything looks like. The hits per 9 can be a little dangerous there for sure. You just kind of add everybody here, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I mean, as far as position players, we got Hendrix Solanas here. I think he'd play in okay like left field. I don't think the defense is great. The reaction and the speed combo should be good in left field. The bat, he could really be a good like contact on base hitter. The power looks to be a little lacking, a little below average there, but I do like the rest of his skills. If we do decide to dip our toe into catcher, I think Eric Lawson would be okay. I would not be ecstatic about this. But with him at 21 years old coming out of college, you do know that he's going to have good potential, but I think the bat is going to be a little weak. We did take a look at Bert Gillespie. It doesn't look like he's going to be a great defender, but looks like the speed, that part of his game should be good. Looks like a guy that could get on base. I'm not mad about that at all. Antoine Pack was a guy that we tried to take a look at. It looks like he's going to be a borderline elite defender. Where does the bat end up? He's 18 years old. I don't think the potential is going to be very high, but maybe you get lucky in that standpoint. But he's falling down our board a little bit. Carlos Baez looks like he'd be an okay hitter with good speed. What is the fielding going to end up being like? In that standpoint, Tristan McDonald, not crazy about this. I think he's going to be very bad to start and a long way to go. Could eventually be a good player. Left field, we did find, or didn't really find, but we took a look at Rusty Romero. I think he's going to be a great hitter. I just think he has essentially a 0% chance of falling to us, but he would be probably the player that I would pick if he somehow fell to pick 30. What I would like to do is take some combination probably of Hendrix Solanas is probably my top player on the boards because there's always so many pitchers. Antoine Pack is probably right below him as far as guys I think are relatively realistic. Like I want to end either pick 30 or pick 33 with a position player because there's just 100 pitchers all the time. Didn't really find a whole lot of offensive players. That's kind of the key thing. You get a lot of those better guys at the very top of the board. Like I'm sure this Scott Padgett guy looks really good. 20, he's got a very good chance of being a high potential player. But we're not drafting that high anymore. That's why it was so important for us to get a guy like Adrian Ramirez in year one, and we see the instant impact he has already had. Because you're not finding that many good offensive skill guys later on. And maybe I'm not doing enough discovery But you're just, unless you get lucky finding like an 18-year-old that just happens to have pretty good potential and a decent starting point, it gets a little frustrating. Like, even if we look at, let's say we'd have looked here at Sean Trevino, and let's say he happens to be excellent. He also could be a 37 overall guy to start off with at 18 years old. And while he's probably not that bad, he has zero chance at being a part of this series. So you take him and you try to take advantage of him hopefully having a good potential range to kind of fleece the computer. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do when I hop into these series. I try to make what I feel like are realistic trades, at least fairly so. But like when you look at these guys, if they're 18 years old and they have a chance at decent potential, like there's just such a floor with them. And you can get lucky. I just think that it's like I need to feel like I'm getting something offensively to feel good about. Like, let's see. Like maybe a Steve Morello is somebody that I could have maybe taken a look at because at least the offense, like the potential is there. But then you see his potential and overall are kind of in the same range of each other. So that to me kind of tells me that, okay, he's probably going to be solid coming out of the gates. He's probably going to be a 70 overall, but then he's going to have 73, 74 potential. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I want to try to find a group of stars. And it just seems like we've gotten pretty bad roles just in general with how these offensive skill guys have been. Like, and this may be everybody, but you look like you maybe get 5 or 6 really good offensive players in the class, and then it kind of falls apart beyond that. But there are, as always, a ton of starting pitchers that are highly ranked that we can certainly go after. Keep adding to that, because I think what you end up doing, you draft pitchers, you build up that part of the farm system, you fill in the spots that you need to at the major league level, and then you trade them for offensive guys that you need. You try to focus, like that's why my free agency, I've largely been trying to find offensive guys. Now, granted, I was lucky. I picked a team. I wasn't lucky because I picked them. But, they have a very good rotation. Now, that's kind of starting to change, but we've kind of backfilled those spots with guys like Gary Valencia. But the number 1 overall draft pick in this class is going to be Scott Padgett. Comes in as the number 1 ranked player. Left fielder, looks like he's going to be rock solid. Don't think he's like generational or anything. Certainly looks good. The number 2 pick in the draft is going to be Tristan McDonald. Okay, so a big surprise there from the Marlins. I was not particularly crazy about him. That maybe they're just trying to go under slot, save some money for later, but that was somebody we scouted hoping to find somebody in the 30s, and he fell apart. Down below that, Thomas Walker, number 2 player, according to the MLB ranks, our number 5 guy. I think at 19, you're probably looking at a high B potential with certainly with a good opportunity to jump in the 90s of potential. And that's a pretty good starting point for a guy. He'll probably be 62, 63 overall, 88, 89 potential. That's kind of the way I try to look at this is like, okay, so Willie Feliz, 81 to 97 potential. I'm pretty much banking on it being around 90. And then his overall between 59 and 75, you're looking at 63, 64. I try to kind of cut myself in the middle. Maybe try to hype myself up to a guy every now and then. But I think, honestly, I would hope for Rusty Romero to fall, which I doubt that happens. And then I really think I'm going to take a guy like Solanas out here. I just think Solanas is not going to have great potential, I don't think. Maybe you get lucky and it's an 87. But, he's got a good chance, I think, of being pretty good out of the gate, at least on the offensive side. So some of the guys that we've had to get drafted here have been Peter Matsui, starting pitcher, Steven Lyons, a right fielder we did not scout, Tom Yu, a guy that we had pretty high on our board, Michael Devine. Looks like he's going to be solid, just never thought that he would fall there, and then he did not. Brad Calero, we had super high, but I don't really like where the attributes are. He's just probably got a really good chance of having great potential. Bartolo Carvajal here, shortstop, the highest one, pretty much the only first-round guy I really consider there. William Kelly, okay. Looks like it's a pretty good bat there for an 18-year-old. Defense is very likely to be very bad to start off with. Rusty Romero does go, our 8th-ranked player, a guy that I did like. Doesn't fall, though. Carl Bake, way down our board. So as long as our scouts, so we pay a lot of money to be good at that, they do not like him there at all. Got Dirk Novikos. Okay. Got Rahul Rivera. We did not scout. Looks like he's going to be he's got a chance to be a solid player. Just depends on where the starting stats really are. Let's see. So we still got a lot of our top guys. Willie Feliz is our number one guy on the board. He is still around. I think he's going to get drafted before we get to our spot. Art Corbett did not look at any of the first basemen just because of a guy like Adrian Ramirez, but he certainly looks like he'd be a good bat, good fielder. Combination, Guillermo Ortega. We did not scout. I did not like the offense. I did not like the offensive upside, but I think he's going to be a good defender. At least looks like a pretty good shot of being that. Johnny Davenport, we didn't scout. Looks like he's going to mash lefties. Looks like he's going to be a pretty solid hitter. Giuseppe Harris, center fielder. Looks like more of a defense with an above-average offensive kind of frame. I think the high side for him is a guy like Julio Rodriguez. Willie Feliz does go, so we don't have to worry about trying to make that decision. Kevin Cobb, so now we're kind of getting guys in our range. Still got our number 2 guy on the board technically. I mean, he's got good hits per 9, but everything else is just really okay. Chris McCullough is off the board. He's a little bit lower for us. Starting pitcher out of Oklahoma. Bobby Salazar, one of our guys that we really liked, falls here. Okay. Oh, there's just so many starting pitchers. I'm almost for sure going to take some kind of position player here. Pack is just a little bit lower. But, man, that defense is going to be good. It's just going to be very little potential. I think he's going to be pretty good out of the gates, but it's going to be largely defensively. Do you take a chance on Hendrik Solanas? Probably so, assuming he falls. Eric Lawson, highest ranked offensive skill guy that we actually scouted, is off the board. Morris Ken, other pitcher in this range. Edmund Washington, didn't take a look at him. Probably could have, though. Just really worried about where that offense was going to start off at as a 20-year-old. Got Rob Zimborski here. Looks like it could be a solid hitter at first base. Carl Clement, pretty much right in the range, did opt out of his doctor's exam. We're 1 pick away. So, where do you go here? So, Nicholas Sanderson, as we are on the clock, is our top guy according to our scouts. I feel pretty sure that he'd be there at pick 33. Same for Damon Hand. I have no real worries about getting a starting pitcher, and to be honest, let's see, 76, 92. So Damon Hand's 18, pretty much guaranteed to have good potential. Mel Winters maybe doesn't have as much upside, but certainly the overall is going to be a better starting point, or at least has the potential to be a very good starting point for him as an 18-year-old. 18-year-old pitchers here at the top. We like 3 of them, so one of them is going to be there. So I do think we turn our attention now to Hendrik Solanas. I think is going to be the top guy on my board. Good defense, good contact, good vision discipline. You obviously are missing the big tool there offensively. He's 18 years old. What I would be hoping for is a good roll on his potential, being an 84 to 87 range. He could be a low C. Our scouts don't love him. So I think you're probably looking at like an 80 potential guy. But I think he's got the skills that will play in left field. The arm is not great, but the reaction, the rest of his defense with his speed should be solid. I feel pretty good about him being a guy that would get on base as well. Let's just see if there happens to be somebody that we didn't scout on the offensive side that is still here. So Jared Watson, we did not scout him, but we do have him ranked 14th. Granted, we hadn't scouted him at all, just 5%. Power defense. I don't think there's any way you take a chance without knowing, but he's fallen. So what is the reasoning for that? Not that that necessarily means anything, but that probably tells me that he is not a tremendous prospect. He's not going to be, like a guaranteed 80 above potential with a 60 plus overall. Has upside though, but we just haven't scouted him. Like, I don't think I can make that move. Got a ton of starting pitchers that we liked. Doug Varela. Don't really like the offensive upside there. I think we're going to go Hendricks Solanas. I think I'm going to take a chance here, try to get, because I know I can fill in pitching spots. So I think I want to take a chance here on Solanas. Hope you get a good roll on the potential. The overall starting points, like, he looks like coming out of the gate, he's going to hit for no power, but be a guy that can hit and get on base at the minor league level while giving you good enough defense with good speed. We're taking Hendricks Solanas. So we're going to take number 36 on our board. We take him at pick 30. I'm excited about it. I think we took a good chance there. And now we'll see who is available. As you can see, the entire board here. Ken Dempsey went right before our pick. Left fielder that we did not like. 18 years old. I think he's going to be just like a 75 overall, 75 potential. He's going to be a good player out of the gate, but what is the long-term upside of that? Bert Gillespie does go. It's a guy that we were not crazy about, but looks like could hit righties right now at the major league level. Devin Nesbitt, we did not like at all. Fourth-ranked guy, fell to 107. Now we're back here at the top. So Sanderson, Sanderson is ranked as our second guy, but I like where the hits per nine is with the strikeout, walks, and home runs. Don't love. You're looking at pretty much a guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. But you got a pretty good shot at being a high B, low A potential guy. Damon Hand, I feel, is a lot more of a sure thing. All of his per nines look to be in a better spot. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Nothing overly crazy there. Sanderson gives you a 5-pitch mix. What about Mel Winters? I think we could probably get Mel at the next slot. You never know, but I think I like Damon Hand here. Unless we decide, because we don't pick again until pick 64. I mean, do you want to take a chance on Jared Watson? He could be nuclear bad. We're not going to do that. I think I like Damon Hand a little bit better. So a lot of Sanderson's overall could come from him being a better fielder, which I don't care about for my pitching. He's got better speed and steal potential too. Kind of interesting there. Then we're going to take Damon Hand, 18-year-old. Solid potential. Should be a solid starting point for him. That is who we are going to take here. And he's a lefty. I didn't notice that. So it does give us an upside lefty, I think, there in the minor league system for us. I am interested to see where Watson ends up long term. Because I think that a guy like that certainly has some potential. Larry Pierce, another first baseman we didn't really take a look at there at all. Let's just simulate to our next pick. We get 4 minutes on the clock. Take a look. Jared Watson does end up going in the comp round here to the Athletics, so maybe they got a high potential guy. Alberto Guerrero, we didn't take a look at. Antoine Pack does go at the start of the second round. Still got Sanderson, still got Winters. So I think at this point you pretty much have to take one of those guys. Then we don't pick again for a while. Just trying to take a look at maybe some of these other names. But now to 3 guys. Obviously, we didn't fill up a whole ton of our room. At this point, you just trust the scouts. What we're going to do, we're going to take Nicholas Sanderson, a righty out of Pennsylvania, 5-pitch mix. Should be a good stamina guy. Should have good to decent per nines. Should have good potential. Maybe he ends up just being a trade piece for us because I worry about where that overall is going to be. Or do I talk myself into taking Mel Winters here? I think Mel Winters is going to be solid, maybe a little less potential. But I think the higher, you look at the future attributes and a lot of things can change. I'm going to take Mel Winters. I'd rather take a guy that I think whose attributes give you a better chance at, just working out above the potential, because Sanderson does end up going here at the top of round 3. I just worry that he's going to be a good hits per 9 guy, but there's not a lot of upside otherwise. We went against our board there. Now we can take a look. So we do have Vinny Louis. Should be a good potential, but he could be dreadful to start off with. This is the point of the draft where this tends to happen, though. Let's see. Not a lot of relievers left here now. I think we'll just follow the board. Vinny Louise, our 48th. Covington is 64th. Covington's a lefty, but that hits per 9 strikeouts is really worrisome. For Louis, it's the walks, the home run control. A lot of 18-year-olds here, so not a lot of a surety. Juan Gonzalez, a reliever out of Georgia. We didn't scout at all. Just follow the board. Oh, okay. We took Vinny Louis. I forgot that we have a little less time we're going here. Okay, so we got a minute left here. Then we'll just take a Steve Perkins. Decent velocity. Could be a reliever, if nothing else, long term. Go ahead and simulate to our next pick. I think now we'll take maybe the upside dart throw on no closers. Walks and hits could be solid here for Robert Adams. Doesn't throw overly hard. Juan Cordero out of New York, just a 21-year-old pitcher that just doesn't present enough upside. What do we have left here? We have a shortstop. Probably going to be Dreadbull. Could be a decent defender. Let's just take a position player here at the back end. There are literally no shortstops that we have scouted left. One. Yeah, we're going to take Juan Cordero here. All right, so very pitcher-heavy class here again. Let's simulate through this last game. Bryce Miller has a no-hitter going. We're up 10-0. We'll simulate it. We do end up winning 10-0. Surely he did not end up getting the no-hitter. He did not allow a hit, but did not complete it. Thornton came in the 9th. Bryce Miller ends the first half, or heads into the All-Star break with a sub-3 ERA. Home runs from Julio and Cal Raleigh. So Julio had a pretty solid finish here to the first half. He had 14 hits. A lot of guys got involved. Ramirez, 1 hit, but did walk twice. Yeah, that's a very nice way. So we end up the first half heading into the All-Star break, winning 2 out of 3 from a divisional opponent. Just take kind of a quick look at the leaders around the league. So Contreras, Bichette, Mayo, Wallner, Fry for average there in the American League. We'll just do it by league. Then hits, Bichette, of course. That's 2 Tigers there at the top. Royce Lewis having a good year. Quan and Ramirez still playing really well. Doubles goes to Witt. Julio is actually second in doubles. That's not really been a big strength of his so far in this series. I mean, the first year just hit 25, hit 38 all last year. He's got 30 already this year. Really producing at a high level to this point. Wyatt Langford seems to be almost breaking out. Not quite. He's a great overall player, but has just not produced at a super high level. Seeing a bunch of drops in his power. It's only hit 4 home runs in the first half. Judge, Devers, Royce Lewis, Gunnar Henderson, Matt Wallner. He has really developed well. He's having a very good year. Connor Norby for the Astros is hitting for a very low average, but hitting for a ton of pop. Who's the highest Mariner? It is Julio at 18 in the first half. Okay. Take that. Should get to roughly another 2020 season. RBIs, Lewis, Judge, Berger, Ozuna, Garcia. Ron Devers leading the way there in that category. Got Rojas here at the top. Not getting on base a ton. When he's getting on, he is running, though. Michael Garcia, how's he developed? 78 overall. Not hitting at all. Ryan Telshaw, the second rounder. Holding off Bazana still there. All right, he's playing shortstop, so not holding off Bazana. Okay, let's do OPS, Wallner, Judge, Henderson, Devers, David Fry. Was really solid last year, has been great this year. 31 years old. Okay. Brent Rooker continues to produce. Trout still putting up a great campaign here at 35. I got to go and do, you guys know if you followed along long enough, I like to go and if like these guys that are having this heavy regression, if they're producing, I'm going to boost their stats back up. So I need to do that for Trout, put him back in line to what he was doing before the season started because he is certainly playing well above a 77 overall. Pitching wise, Bryce Miller 5th there for wins in the American League. Let's look at saves. We're not going to have anybody here. Bubik, though, leading the way. ERA is Schmidt and Fried. There at the top, Lodolo having a really, really good year here for Oakland. He's been good, though, in the series. Cutter Crawford, Reagans, and Ober are both struggling. Bryce Miller's gotten himself back into the top 10, so he's back in range of maybe being a Cy Young winner here. Let's do shutouts. Got just 3 in the American League. Strikeouts, kind of the usual suspects here at the top. Innings pitched, Bryce Miller actually heads into the All-Star break leading the American League in innings pitched. So he's continuing to get better. Been a bit up and down for him to start the year. Over his last 10 starts, though, a 2.23 RA, 0.84 whip. So he is certainly trending in the right direction. He does not walk anybody. The lowest whip in the American League. And from a strict WAR perspective, he's 10th in the American League in that stat. With Garrett Crochet, who obviously the Twins gave a massive deal to be their frontliner. He is looking great. Batting WAR, Henderson, Contreras, Bichette, Witt. Julio right now is 5th in the American League for that. National League, you got Xavier Edwards just continues to hit. Kyle Tucker, Lamont Wade. Kyle Tucker has been certainly better for the Dodgers this year than he was last year. Not that he was bad last year, but he has been tremendous so far this year. Okay. Kyle Schwarber hitting .317? What in the world? Been great for the Braves. Horner leading the way in hits with Schwarber right behind him. That's crazy work. Bryce Turang leading the league in doubles. When he hits it hard. Jordan Walker having a nice year, but he's a little banged up right now. Okay. PCA, seen a lot of regression, just does not hit. Just does not hit. Does have 8 triples, though. Tucker leading the way in home runs, actually leading all of baseball. Heading in with that stat, okay. Tell Marte have another good year. Nick Castellanos, Pittsburgh. Let's do OPS. Kyle Tucker, the only guy over 1,000 in the National League with 3 guys above it in the American League. Schwarber, Soto, Lamont Wade, Bryce Harper, Jonah Bride. There's Ronnie. James Wood, okay, up to an 85 at 24 years old. Broke out last year. Breaking out even more this year, having a great campaign. Glasnow, Lopez, Nola, Skeens, Shohei, Schwellenbach, Cease, Shota, all here with double-digit wins. Glasnow's been great, it looks like. Tanner Scott leading the way with saves. Pretty much the usual suspects up here. ERA, Sanchez, Reynaldo, Keller, Schwellenbach, up to an 89 overall, having another great year. Grant Holmes, okay. I hear you. 2.84, and he's regressing is a little crazy. Let's do strikeout Shohei, then it's Mackenzie Gore. See, kind of the usual. How's Strider doing? 4.92 ERA. He wasn't tremendous in 25, but was good, was great in 26. Striking out a bunch of guys, but certainly is having something happen here. Giving up 18 home runs is not helping. Peralta, well, they gave him a pretty good deal, right? I gave him a massive deal. Okay. Dylan Cease with the Mets. Second year here. Been good again for them. Kenzie Gore continues to come along in some ways. Had a great 26. He's striking out a bunch of guys this year, but 6.22 ERA. He's pretty much striking out or getting shelled. Got 2 Cubs here at the top for innings pitched. Whip, Sanchez, Webb, Imanaga. Imanaga's been great in this series. Tremendous. Got a good hits per 9, a good walks per 9 with good pitching clutch. Andrew Abbott, okay. Coming along here, first year with San Francisco. Got traded over the offseason, I guess. Glass now and Sanchez leading the way in WAR. Skeens, Lopez, Swellenbach, Shohei. Batting WAR, Lindor leading the way. I think he had like a 8 WAR season last year, no, just 5.7. He had a 9 the year before, that's what it was. Okay, Nemo having a good year. And the Mets have got a bunch of guys here at the top. Albies, Schwarber, Harper, Olsen. All right. Let's see who's in the home run derby. I don't think we're going to have anybody in here, but we'll take a look and we'll just simulate through it. So we have nobody. It's Tucker, Judge, Devers, Lewis, Schwarber, Henderson, Marte, and Olsen. We'll just simulate through and just see who ends up winning it. I'm going to say that it is Schwarber that ends up winning it. Taking this longer to load up than I thought it was going
to. Welcome to the Home Run Derby.
Yep, I'm gonna go with Schwarber.
Let's get right to it.
See who ends up winning. It's gonna be Kyle Tucker. Actually beats out Aaron Judge by 1 home run there at the end.
Derby champion, Kyle.
Longest one he hit was 444 feet. And now we can, we'll hop in here and see what Mariners made the All-Star team. Obviously, one of our control players are in this. Is this where we can do it by? Okay, so you still can't do it that way. I don't like that it's like weird like we're at the All-Star game. I shouldn't have to really click through. So we kind of looked around the league for stats. We'll just take a look and see what guys we have get through, maybe play a little bit with like a Julio or something. So Bryce Miller does make it again, which is really cool. Penn Murphy does end up making it for us. He has been money. Looks like it for us pitching-wise. Fried is the leader there. So Julio does make it in, and that is it. Oh, Rosarena sneaks in with another All-Star appearance. It's going to be just his second. Was a playoff MVP for us last year. Gave him the $20 million contract. Great first half. And we will go through the team stats here at the end of it. But you kind of see the names. You can see the stats there at the top left. Pretty much the guys you would expect it to be based on the stats that we saw. Jose Altuve out in the left field. It's always interesting to see that. See, I'm going to set myself a reminder. I've got to go back through and do there's no reason for him at 36 with the season he's putting up to be seeing this level of regression. He's going to be out of the league next year at this rate. So I'll go back through and I'll take a look at some of these older players and work them back up. But pretty solid stats overall on this side. Let's do the pitchers as well. The pitchers you don't get to see really. I guess they kind of show it there in the middle. Obviously, for the closers, it's more important to see the saves and whatnot. Hop over here to the National League side. Not that it really matters. Sanchez. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, the guys that you would kind of expect based on what we saw stat-wise. I think Alexis Diaz and Fairbanks not really having great seasons there. McCarthy, Lamont Wade, okay. Juan Soto. Machado, Lindor. Shohei still, he's down to a 97 overall. He's been great again, though. Ronnie does make it in. Okay. Well, we've seen Julio. You know what? We've seen Julio several times. We'll just simulate through. The American League does beat the National League there. Now we can get just a different look at the All-Star voting. So Fried Schmidt, Crawford, John Mean. So kind of just easier to look at their stats like this. Penn Murphy. You don't get the saves here for the closer, so this is where we'll kind of pull up the stats. So 30 there for Miller. Clase, Duran, Bresky makes it. Without, I guess he's not their main closer. Josh Hader, he's not their main closer. Felix Bautista, Mason Miller. We're back at the top now. So Contreras, O'Hoppe, and Teal make it as catchers. All having pretty good campaigns. Really disappointing from Raleigh this year. Pasquantino, Berger, okay. Garcia, Jimenez, Ramirez, and Lewis. J.P. Crawford, I could see maybe making it here over Caballero, but I'm okay with it. Marcell Ozuna hit 60 home runs last year, hitting some regression. Probably somebody else I need to kind of boost his stats back up. Julio obviously makes it. Blade behind him. Blade made that a pretty close race. Then Judge and Rooker, Altuve, Blade, Ozuna. National League. Kind of saw the stats beforehand. Curtis is who we hit the home run off of, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's who we hit the Cal Raleigh 3-run home run off of. Take a look at the saves here. 35, 33, 28, 27, 29, Fairbanks 29 as well. Will Smith, Jeffers. Good. Lamont Wade, man, having a great year. Taking over for Vlad. Toglia makes it. Toglia was solid. Okay. Xavier Edwards, Schwarber, McCarthy. Bunch of great right fielders in the National League. And of course, okay. Let's see who for us made it in the futures game now that Adrian Ramirez is ineligible for this. Gary Valencia is again your starter. Second straight year he has done that. Eddie Matos, been really good. Jason Farley has not been good. Kind of just as a reliever right now. Again, he's a 56 overall. But good to see him in there. Chris Cutliff was a guy we traded away to get Penn Murphy, so he's in that spot. Pretty cool to see. Then offensively, John Simon makes it again. He has just only played 6 games, but he has not been very good. I guess they called him up. He is not playing a lot. I think that's all of our guys. So got plenty of pitchers. Don't have many offensive players, though. Let's take a look at this lineup here. Yeah, if John Simon is not going to play every day at AAA, I would rather send him back down to AA. We can, yeah, they changed up some of my guys and how much they're playing here. I want to make sure Simon and Emerson are playing every day. Cole Young, still got Montez playing, Harry Ford. Okay, that's all of our guys we need playing there. And then in the rotation, Hancock, Valencia, J.R. Peterson, Michael Silva, Eddie Matos, Giordano, Martin Diaz. Put him in here for Hopkins. Hopkins he's decent. See potential. Jim Flowers with a B. I'm okay with him coming out of the bullpen right now as a 19-year-old. Jason Farley coming out of the pen is okay. Henderson's been really good. Okay. Let's play a little bit. See, we have here J.R. Peterson does get hurt there. So we come out of the All-Star break. I guess I should have looked at our stats. Julio with a home run, a 2-hit, 3 RBI day. Adrian Ramirez gets a hit, an RBI, and 2 walks for him as well. George Kirby comes out with a great start. So let's talk about the lineup since I forgot to do that. So Crawford is obviously on a bit of a downturn here over his last 10, but a great first half for him. We accidentally signed him for 2 years. I mean, only give him a 1-year deal, but pretty happy with how that's turning out. Rosarena, he's trying to force my hand, make me give him another contract this year. He's been great. Julio's been great. Raleigh's been a massive disappointment. He's been great over his last 10 games, though, including the one. He had a 1 hit in the game we just played. But 353, 2 homers over this last 10-game stretch. So he's finally getting going. He was tremendous last year and was solid the year before. But really need to get him going here in the second half, I think, if we're going to make a big push. Brandon Lau gave him the big, $36 million over 2 years. Hasn't been maybe quite as good as he was last year, but I think you're going to get 25-ish home runs, should get double digits in steals. Just need him to kind of pick it up just a tad. Because if I can just get pretty close to what he got out of 2026, I'm perfectly happy with that performance. Rengifo kind of scuffling a bit here over his last 10. Did hit the walk-off home run, though, which was cool to see. But he was certainly better in the first half this year than he was last year. It's a contract year for him. Luke Raley, struggling right now over his last 10. Not been as good this year as he was last year. Is getting on base more, but not hitting nearly as well. Adrian Ramirez, again, kind of scuffling over his last 10. Did just have a pretty solid day, though, with a hit and 2 walks with an RBI. I'm okay with that. Burleson he's on a bit of a downturn right now, but a great first half for him. I guess I should have looked at the bench, too, while we're here. Riley Adams has been a huge pickup for us. 2-year deal, perfectly fine with him being our backup catcher next year and kind of slow playing Harry Ford 1 more year if that's the way it works out. Caden Marlowe, really good in the first half, having the best year of his career to this point. Ryan Bliss having by far the best year of his career so far. Leonardo Rivas hasn't played much, hasn't hit much, but he's okay. As far as the rotation, obviously Bryce Miller's really stepped up. Kirby, who I think is the one I want to get the long-term deal to between him and Gilbert. He hasn't been quite as good this year. Really hasn't been as good as he was in that 2025 season yet. Gilbert hasn't been as good as he's been the last 2 years, but has been better. Luis Castilla, that's a big story here over the course of the rest of this episode. Ryan Wu, we gave him the big extension because this is pretty much who he is as a player. I think he's exactly an 84 potential guy. Seems to be doing solid, has the occasional blow up. He's been good over his last 10. Santos, kind of is what he is. I really like pitching with him in the bullpen, but he's not a great bullpen piece. Morahone, we gave a 2-year deal to, not working out thus far. Snyder's been really good. Murphy, we traded for, has been great. Thornton has been outstanding. What a bounce back campaign for him. Brash, has been really solid. Selby pitched 6 games, hasn't given up a run yet. Spire right now is working as our closer. He's been really good, a 1.71 ERA this year. Let's play a little bit here. Get another game here, 9-4 with a victory. Crawford and Raley each with home runs. Ramirez gets 2 walks but doesn't get a hit. He's getting on base though. I'll give him that. 2-hit day from Brandon Lau. Raleigh with a hit there as well. Gilbert, pretty solid. Snyder does get to go through 2 innings, gives up a run, but he's still pretty good there. Let's take a look at these draft picks. I want to hop in, try to get Solanas some motivation to sign. We can go ahead and offer Damon Hand. So we get our lefty, hopefully is a big piece for us in the future. Mel Winters. Give him a little bit more. He declines it. Okay, that's fine. Benny Louise, not overly caring if we get him. He does decline. So, is there anybody else that we can just go ahead and sign? So Perkins does decide to sign with us. Cordero does decide to sign with us. Hidalgo It's 40% chance to sign. Okay. So we will take him off, put Luis there, and then we'll finalize that. We're down big in this game. It's a chance at a 3-homer game for Crawford. End up losing it 9-5. Crawford obviously has a great game. Brandon Lau goes deep. Ramirez goes 0 for Burleson with a hit. Raleigh and Julio do get hits. Luis Castillo and Santos were dreadful. I don't know what to do with Castillo, I'll be honest with you. We lose this game again, so we've now lost 2 in a row. 5-2, get RBI from Crawford and Julio. Ramirez does get a hit. Brian Wu, solid, but not great. Snyder and Thornton each give up runs. Get a chance to sign our guys here. Solanas is probably going to come down to the wire. I'm going to have to overpay for him to make sure we get him. See if we can go ahead and get Winters here. He declines, okay, playing a little hard to get for no reason. I respect it. So we do get Louis. We'll add Hidalgo there. Solanas, come on now. Made you a first-round draft pick. Get a victory, 7-2. Adrian Ramirez hits a triple. Got another walk. Brandon Lau goes deep. 3 RBIs from Raleigh, 2 from Lau. Stolen base from Julio. Great start from Miller. Murphy was good out of the pen. And we lose this game. Haven't had many opportunities to jump in. So Julio with a double. Ramirez gets the only RBI. He had a 2-hit day with a walk again. So consistently walking. Kirby, again, just solid. Nothing great. Thornton, okay. Okay, so we're getting Solanas up there. I'll just have to overpay for him when the time comes. Come on. All right, so we do get Mel Winters to eventually sign with us. Now we're down to these last 2. Don't really care if we sign Hidalgo. I'm going to make sure I use every available dollar we have on Solanas. Bring him in. Get a 6-0 victory, so obviously got great pitching. Rosarena and Burleson go deep. Give up 6 hits in total. A great start for Gilbert. Ramirez goes 0 for, but again, walks. So that's always nice. Pretty quiet day, though, offensively, considering we scored 6 runs. Get an opportunity here at the bottom of the 4th, base is loaded, 2 outs, and it is, again, Adrian Ramirez up in this situation going against Hunter Brown. I don't think we have any gameplay at all in this episode. No, we had the Rengifo home run. That's right. Had the Rengifo walk-off homer.
Now batting.
Adrian Ramirez. This one already a much longer episode than what we just have. Come on, Ramirez.
Oh.
That one low. You can tell I haven't played this game a whole lot because to me that almost looked like it's going to be a low strike in the dirt. Okay. 1-0 count. Pulled out in front of that one. Okay. It's not really that good of a pitch to swing at either. Turn to simulate here. See if we get another opportunity. We do. All right, so Crawford, 2-run homer. We're up 1, top of the 7th. Brash is in a lot of trouble here, though. It's Estrada at the plate. Brash just came in. Ooh, good slider.
No ball. 1 strike.
Brash, we're looking to really get going here in the second half. With fastball, not where I wanted it. It's a great fastball. We're going to chase. We do. That's a big first out there for Brash. Runners do not advance. Johan Rojas leading the American League in stolen bases. Not hitting a ton, though. Good fastball location. Gotta work a sinker on the inside here. Got him to chase. 0-2 count here pretty quickly.
1 and 2. Ball.
Come on. 2-2. Got that one. Is going to be back up the middle. Rivas, a great play, but cannot throw him out. on the dive, but kept the run from scoring. Rojas' 99 speed just enough to get him there. Now it is Stone Garrett at the plate. Bases loaded here for Brash. Let's do a little mound visit here. Brash has a ton of confidence. Got to let it play. It's the strike. Garrett been good in this series, having another solid year. That ball is scorched. It's down. The lead is gone. Now the lead is going to swing to Houston's side, as that is going to be a bases clearing double. Garrett able to make that one stick. That's a good fastball, just better hitting. The bullpen strikes again here. I don't know how the runs got up, but I'm assuming it was something to do with the bullpen. I'm just trying to get out of this inning. Dangerous fastball location. Gets him to chase. Raleigh over to first. Man, Garrett just barely kept that ball fair. Norby just does not hit. It's for power. Good cutter. Nothing in with a fastball. Out of the chase. So strikes out the side, but gives up the bases clearing double. We do end up losing this game. Okay. It's actually Castillo. Castillo had a decent start, but that last run did end up getting charged to him. Crawford and Burleson each go deep. Ramirez goes 0 for. Just not a lot going on. Bliss with a good day there at the top. Castillo with a better start, though. 6 innings, a 3-run ball is something you can work with. I want to at least get to a point in this episode where we've got these guys signed. I think would be nice. Can I even offer Solanas yet? I can. He declines. Okay. Lose this one 8-2. Burleson goes deep again. Brian Wu just got shelled. Murphy actually gave up the most runs we've had. Just not hitting. Ramirez is hit down at 230 now. Okay, if we do bounce back, we do at least split the series with Houston. Julio and Ramirez go deep. It's a 2-hit day for Ramirez. 2-hit day for Rosarena. 2-hit day for Rengifo. Bryce Miller comes in and shuts down the trouble with an outstanding start. We are able to sign our first-round draft pick, Hendrix Solanas, for a guy that gave us that much trouble to sign. I certainly hope he's on the higher end of some of these stats. And Hidalgo, we still cannot offer. Okay, win this game 4-1. Lindor goes deep on us. Ramirez with a double, has 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Burleson goes deep again. Kirby with a great start, Selby and Spire. What is Burleson is on a heater right now. Hit a home run in 4 of his last 5 games. Only hitting .216 over his last 10. He's on a 5-game hitting streak here and hitting for a ton of power. He's up to 20 home runs, so he's 1 homer away from tying a career high. He's gonna get a little pay raise here. Right now, we're 3 games up in the division. We would barely just be the last wild card team, just playing in a bit of a weaker division. Burleson is up, down 1, 2 on. See if we can do a little something here with Alec Burleson, who certainly doesn't need us to take the swings for him. He is on a great streak here. I don't think I'm going to make any more trades, so we might just keep keep this episode going. We're right at about the hour mark. Might just keep this episode going long enough just to get us through where we can see the draft picks. I think may be a good idea. That ball is scalded. Julio is going to score first pitch. Game is tied, and Burleson slides in. Not very fast, but does get a double. Look at that first pitch. Just went with the fastball on the outside, hit it hard down the left field line. Now it's Rayleigh with two guys on. They're going to intentionally walk him. Okay. They're going to bring somebody in out of the bullpen.
Number 72.
Dedniel Nunez. Dedniel. Intentionally walk Rayleigh to bring up a Rosarena is certainly a bold call, but the bases are juiced.
Ball.
Good eye there. Jose Buto in the pen. 5-5 game, bases loaded, one out. Good fastball. Rosarena leading the Mariners in batting average. Good circle change there. Rosarena's getting an MVP chance. I like it. Gotta wait back a little longer on that slider. Fouls it away though. 1-2 count. Raleigh on deck. I don't feel like I swung at that, but I guess I did. Now it's Raleigh at the plate. Numbers are still kind of on the plus side here.
Yep, that ball went out.
Working their way up. Would love like a 10-game, 5 or 6 homer stretch for him.
That's a ball.
2-0 count now with the bases loaded. Raleigh with a chance to give Seattle the lead. What I usually do here at 2-0 is I'll get something anywhere close and I just swing at it. Okay, that was a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be. 2-1, late on the fastball anyway. Yep, late on the fastball again, 98 on the hands. We do get the game time RBI though. Turn to simulate to see if another situation pops up. It does. Cal Raleigh back at the plate. We are down 3 runs, the bottom of the ninth with 1 out, but the bases are loaded. Raleigh and Ramirez. One swing away from walking this off. One swing away from the game being over. Yes, throws that one high. Big dumper at the plate.
Ball 2.
2-0 count. That's that 2-0, just feeling like you're going to get a strike. It's a bad pitch to swing at. 3-1 count. Ramirez does have a 2 RBI double on deck. That ball is scalded, eats up the first baseman, so a run does score. But we are down to 2 outs here. Raleigh does get the run. Clifford could not take that one in smoothly. So Adrian Ramirez in a big opportunity here. Can he do something with it?
Ball 1.
1-0.
1-0.
That might have been the pitch there. 2 for 4 today. 3 RBIs. Or excuse me, that was his last game. I just saw it over the thing up top. 1 for 4 performance. 1-2. He's able to foul off the fastball. Oh! Ramirez swings out in front of a 2-seam fastball. I guess it looked like the swing was very early. Had the big time opportunity. Cannot hold it down. Burleson goes deep again. He's tied his career high. Got doubles from Ramirez, Rosarena, and Burleson. Logan Gilbert, not a great start. Murphy, not a great outing. Brash, not a good outing. Thornton, not a good outing. Just not a lot of great pitching there. So lose that one 8-6. Scuffling a little bit here coming out of the break. Today is the day to sign draft picks. Can now at least offer Hidalgo something. So we do sign all of our guys. Got a shortstop. Probably not a great potential player, but we'll take it. All right, so we're still up 2 games here in the division. Luis Castillo struggling here again. See if we can help him get out of this situation. Golly. Castillo is not having a great contract year here at all. Ryan Clifford is up. Top of the 4th. Bases are juiced. Got ahead there. Clifford having a really good season with runners in scoring position. Just hitting 222 in total, though.
Yep, that ball went out.
At this point, if Castillo can't string together a couple of good starts in a row, I don't know what we do, but I don't know how we keep throwing him out there. Got the strikeout. Big opportunity. Luis Castillo gets the job done there. Now it's the top of the 6th. Snyder on the mound. Still trying to hold on to this 1-0 lead. We'll simulate there. Game is tied, so a run does score. Ryan Bliss is now up with 2 guys on.
Now batting, the second base.
299. He's really having a good year. I have not hit. I think I've hit 1 home run with him in the series. Not really hit that well with him.
Nope, outside.
0 for 3 today. A chance to get the lead run there at 3rd, though. He pops it up. Got it off the end of the bat and under it. It's a fly out. Okay. Bottom of the 8th. Game is still tied at 1. There's 1 out. Burleson, who's been just on a nuclear heater. Got 2 runners on. Got 1 year of team control left.
Nope, that's inside.
He's been so good at the bottom of the lineup, I just haven't really wanted to move him around. Obviously, in simulation, they do a little bit, but I mean, he definitely is a guy that should be hitting higher than what he is.
Ball 2.
That one's up.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Come on.
Three balls, 1 strike.
3-1 count. Certainly think you'd get a fastball here. Not necessarily true, though.
Ball 4.
Emil Walt was a fastball. Out of the zone. Now the bases are loaded for Rayleigh. Got enough speed where he can be tough to double up. He also can tend to hit the ball pretty hard. 12 homers.
Aye.
It's a good pitch. 338 on base percentage, 761 OPS, 0 for 3 today.
1-1.
1-1. Good clutch and good power against righties right here. So a little ahead of the slider. 1-2 count now. That was a tough slurve. Try to just foul it away. Thankfully we did. That ball might be out of here. Grand slam for Luke Rayleigh. Knew he hit it hard. Hoping it was hard enough. Got a lot of that one. His 13th home run of the year. Luke Raley. Certainly wanted to make sure we could at least tag up and everybody started running without me moving them. Is typically a good sign. Knew he hit it hard. Wasn't sure we got quite enough of it. A grand slam nonetheless.
Aye.
Now that I've gotten the big
0-1's the
swing,
count.
now I'm out here swinging at everything again. Rosarena late on this one. Still hits it pretty hard, though, considering he is out. Should bring up Raleigh. 2 for 10 in the series. 2 for 3 today, though, with a triple. Well, I must have fallen down in the outfield for the big dumper. Come on. See if we get home run number 10 here. Got a fastball to hit. Good timing on it, but late side of good. That's a pitch to absolutely annihilate. Been one of those years for Raleigh. He didn't seem to miss last year. Hit a home run in his first at bat this season. First or second at bat this year. It's not really been the same since. So a 5-1 win. We obviously got a great outing. Luis Castilla desperately needed that. Snyder, of course, we got Castilla out of trouble there in the 4th. But good outing overall from the starters. Raleigh hit a triple, home runs from Rosarena. Of course, the grand slam from Raley. Did get a hit from Ramirez. A lot of guys with hits. Pretty much everybody but Crawford, or everybody but Crawford and Bliss. But Crawford did at least walk twice. All right, so got a victory there. I'm not going to make any trades. I kind of came to this episode just like if we're just kind of playing okay. Because really the only other thing I would want would be another bullpen piece. Because like we're playing too well for me to trade Castillo. Because you would be trading him to you'd be trading him to another contender. And then if Castillo starts pitching well, then I'm going to be upset that we don't have him. But we're still in a race. He's been really good for us in the past. I'm kind of trusting that this is going to kind of come around. But, there are definitely teams that are better than us in the American League. We thankfully are in a position here. But, yeah, I mean, we're getting back Winker soon. Should be anyway. Sorry, taking me a second to get here. Sorry for the longer episode too, but hope y'all are enjoying. Should be getting back Winker soon. Should be getting back Munoz maybe a little bit after that. So I'm getting him a little bit sooner than what I thought, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially like getting a trade piece in and of itself. He was really good for us. And it's what do you do? Like with Ramirez and Raley and some of these guys. Ramirez right now probably needs to be starting over Raley when that time comes back about. Going to be putting him out in the outfield. Let's see. Rookie of the Year, Ramirez is still trailing at that. That would be some craziness if he ended up not winning it. Yeah, we're not going to make any trades. We have no draft picks left to sign. I mean, maybe adding a bullpen piece, but like I don't want to use up our prospects to get a, just a short-term piece. Just kind of what you're essentially trying to do is just avoid using Santos and Morejon. The rest of this has been okay. Brash hasn't been amazing, but all right, so we get a 4-1 victory there. It is the trade deadline. Again, we're not going to move anything. A bunch of guys got involved here. Adrian Ramirez with a nice 2-hit day. Got an average back over 250. Same time, Raley hits 2 hits. Burleson can't come out of the lineup. I think it's going to be Raley that ends up losing at bats. Brian Woo's been good. Brian Woo was great. Brash and Spire were good there. Trade deadline. Bryce Miller looking for a complete game shutout. We're up 6. We'll go ahead and let it ride. Taylor still out for a little bit. This is now the last day to sign guys. Then we can take a look at their stats. So Burleson with another home run. Bryce Miller, complete game shutout. Got that ERA down to 2.58. Starting to climb. Ramirez with a nice day. Burleson obviously with a good day. Rengifo was solid. Brandon Lau was solid. What is Julio's batting average down to? 263. So Julio is scuffling. Giordano was not great. Taylor Dollar was not great. Martin Diaz was good in his 10 innings. Hancock, outstanding there again. Julio doing his typical post All-Star break struggles. Maybe that will not last. All right, let's take a look and see what the trades were. Let's do trades. So we got Junior Caminero going to the Brewers in a big trade there. Let's see. Jordan Romano got traded. Marcelo Meyer got traded for William Chung. Okay. Cam Collier got traded. Not a lot of trades. Okay. Let's just see what, out of curiosity, an Adrian Ramirez extension would look like. If I want to give him 10, he'd be looking for $12 million. That's something I'm going to debate, but that was really what I wanted to do whenever we brought him up. Look at the discipline, +8. Yeah, I mean, he's producing. I'm going to think about that between now and the next episode, but I plan on giving him an extension, like, right now. We can give him a 12 years and it not be overly expensive, just 13 over that time period. But Ramirez, our first draft pick, really excited to make a plunge on that. But let's simulate one more day to get a 63 win. So we sweep Toronto. We've won 4 games in a row. Home run from Julio, Raleigh. So just when you talk a little trash about Julio, does at least hit a home run. Brandon Lau hits 2 home runs. 1 hit there for Ramirez. Pretty good start there from Kirby to Thornton and Spire. Continue to be great out of the bullpen. Look at our draft picks. Come on. Solanas, no. Decent starting point, 63. High C potential. It depends on how you look at this. So he has got roughly 15 overall points that he can move up. So I don't think this is maybe as bad as my initial reaction because of where the hitting and the vision, discipline, clutch already are. The defense with the speed is like, okay, you can play in the, he can play left field. I think we'll see. I'll probably just try to focus on getting his power up. Durability is not great either. Maybe just try to boost the durability because right now he's almost looking with that durability to be more like, okay, he can maybe play left field against left-handed starters, and then he'd have to be a DH otherwise. We already got John Simon that's kind of in that role, I'm hoping, in the future. Damon Hand, this ended up being a good pick, 65-88. Mel Winter, 70 with 85 potential. So like those. I like Solanas is not as high potential as I was hoping for, but I feel okay about that because of where the attributes, where his 63 overall is coming from is really what I wanted it to be. But Damon Hand in a good spot. Winters, he's going to be a major league pitcher probably at 21, 21 years old. Louise got good potential, bad starting point. Don't know that he ever really pitches for us. Perkins, 57-76. He's okay. Hidalgo way down. Okay, Cordero, 60 overall, 78 potential. Not bad. Were there any generational prospects, and who are some of the other guys we were maybe looking at? Trying to look at the potential and the player side. Carvajal ended up not being a great pick at all. Peter Morse, 91 potential, but just a 48 overall. Kevin Cobb, Gillespie was not very good. Huerta was awful. Okay. Ortega, 18-year-old, 58 overall. The bat is just all over the place. He's getting a lot of his potential, his overall just from his durability. Castillo, it's not terrible, but it's an awkward starting point. Just trying to remember some of these names. Rusty Romero, 74, 86 potential. Very similar, actually, to what Adrian Ramirez was whenever we drafted him. Obviously, more speed, like just a better base running threat with a little less defense than Ramirez, but a pretty good starting point as a hitter. Good contact here against righties, got more power against lefties. So far, he's been one of the better picks we have seen. Steven Lyons looks like he's pretty solid. Okay. Sanderson, 91 potential, 59 overall, though. So I'm okay with us making that choice. Johnny Davenport, left fielder, 93 overall. To the Padres. Yep, that's a really good player. Terrible defender, but the bat's are in a good spot. Arms in a good spot. Pretty good closer prospect there. Willie Feliz, 69-91. Looks like he might have been the top player in this class. Molina, good player there. William Kelly, okay, 66 with 90 potential. Tom Yu. Devine and Managa there, pretty solid. Yeah. Not a great class. Ooh, Art Corbett, 89 potential. This is a Adrian Ramirez type player, 75 overall coming out the gates. He's very, very similar to Ramirez, really and truly. So good pickup there for the Tigers. Okay. Lawson, the catcher, 67 overall, 95 potential. So he was, okay. The scouts didn't love him, but that's the best player in this class. He was our top position prospect, still on the board. Great defender. The bat's in a really good starting point. He is 21 already, but you can work with that. But I think we, again, came away with a pretty good class. I mean, I would like for Solanas to have been a little bit better from a potential standpoint, but where the bat is, where his overall is currently coming from is pretty solid. The durability power combination is a little weak. Maybe we just completely focus on durability and just let the rest kind of see where he resides. But I do like Damon Hand. I think we got a really good pick here out of Winters as well. Should rise through the system pretty quickly. I think we did a good job. But, yeah, been a longer episode, especially after the last one was not very long. So I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, like and subscribe. Leave me feedback in the comment section down below. Check out my Purdue Boilermaker Dynasty on College Football 26. And until next time, thank you so much. Peace.